K-Tel presents Goofy Great! 24 funky hits by the original stars, Ohio Express.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tongue.
Brian Hyland.
An itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
Hollywood Argyle.
Look at that caveman go.
Ray Stevens.
Ahab, the Arab.
1910 Fruit Gum Company.
And you will never be out.
Surfing Bird, Nashville Cat, Bread and Butter, Bonnie Maroney, and many more. Remember Shirley Ellis.
Shirley, Shirley, Bo Burley, Bonana, Pineapple,
Larry Bird.
Please, Mr. Custer.
The Royal Guardsmen.
The bear shutting down.
Curses filed again. Get Goofy Greats, 24 of the world's greatest novelty hits by the original stars. $5.99 from K-Tel. Tape $6.99.
Hello? Hello? Is this the 2 Bar in Jersey City? Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to know if you could tell me if there's an I'll Kill You there. Who? I'll Kill You?
I'll kill you.
Yeah, Kill You. Right.
What's his name?
I'll Kill You.
How do you spell it? I'll be able to announce it.
Oh, okay. K-I-L-L-E-U.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. No, nobody but that name.
There's been a lot of controversy surrounding the usage of the N-word in this movie, and
No, nobody, none. The word would be...
Oh, I don't want to say it.
Why not?
I don't like to say it.
Have you ever said it?
No, sir.
Try it.
I don't like to say it.
Try it.
Really? Seriously?
We're not going to have this conversation unless you say it. You want to move on to another question?
Okay. Awesome. I don't want to say
Oh,
it.
come on.
Will you say it?
No, fuck no. That's not the same thing.
Why do you want me to
They're
say
going to
it?
bleep it when you say it
I
on
know,
your
but-
show. Say it.
I can't say it. If I say it, this question it won't make air.
Okay, forget it.
Okay, I'll skip it. Sorry, guys. It was a good question.
No, it wasn't.
It was a great question.
It wasn't a great question if you can't say the word.
We polled a recent audience, got their best response to this blank Mary. Now remember, the answer that audience gave most often, if it's matched by you, gets you $500. Pick them out, one at a time.
Richard.
Virgin. Virgin Mary, he says. Virgin Mary.
Okay, Brett.
Brett.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary is one. One more.
All right, Charles.
Charles.
Queen Mary.
Queen Mary.
Lee, next time you get a cue to play, ask me first, okay? You have to understand something. I've got people in the booth that have only done this 30 years. So we have to understand that they screw up every once in a while. Okay? Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that very much.
The great thing about DoorDash is playing the game of, I wonder how close to getting my order right they were. You know, it's never exact, but it's always...
Is it close?
It's usually close. It's usually close enough that I would not bother calling. This time, I saw the guy coming up with 2 sodas, and I knew I only ordered 1, so I was like, ooh, this will be good. But other than that, it was fine.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And for only double the price.
Huh. Well, my brother and mom and I were having dinner together, and my brother just went through a drive-thru. 3 of us, and he was getting 2 sandwiches. So that would be 4 sandwiches. We got 2 sandwiches. So he came back and called, and they were like, yeah, we realized right after you left that we gave you the wrong food. But I think they just left the second sack there.
Uh-huh.
The numb is wearing off my lip.
Oh, ouch.
So it's the weird kind of zippy, tingly face.
Uh-huh. Did
Yes,
they give
everyone.
you any Mother's Little Helper?
I had a root canal today, people. And it oddly wasn't bad.
So you recommend them to the audience?
Well, I'm not saying, hey, everybody go get one. Considering what you expect it to be, and it's not the first one I've had, my appointment was at 3:20. I got in just about then, maybe 3:22. And you walk in the door and you go straight to a room. And these guys don't make you sit around. And everything started, and I was walking out the door at 4:10, 4:15, which for root canal is quick.
Yeah. I had a root canal, well, many years ago now, so maybe they've changed. Maybe they're better. Because I remember them being pretty debilitating, to be honest. I remember being out for a while. Not out, but I remember, out of commission.
I have a very good dentist.
Oh, good.
It's a fun office. The chairs in the room are different colored leather. So, and of course they wear headsets, things, so you'll hear somebody be getting paged to the pink room, or the purple room, or the green room, or the blue room. And it's just by the color of the chair. And there are, of course, TVs in every room, and you get to pick what you want to watch.
Do you feel like a sort of a team spirit, though? Like, hey, Reds are the best, Blues are...
No, my dentist, I started going there because another friend of mine had worked there. And so I switched and went over there, and my dentist is a gal, and we just started talking and got along really well, and we have become good friends. And so it's been quite a few years that I've been going there, and she knows what she's doing, and she's very nice. And so it's a comfortable place to be, which helps when you've got people with needles and drills.
Yeah, because, the thought has sometimes crossed my mind just how much trust you're putting into this complete stranger, So it's probably a lot better to know and trust the person who's sticking metal tools in your mouth.
Yes.
I remember once, probably the last root canal I got several years ago. Really nice dentist, and he had the radio playing. I think it was a classic rock station or whatever. I swear, precisely the moment that he jabbed the needle into my gum to numb it, the beginning of Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb, kicked in, and it was perfect. It couldn't have been timed better. And I looked at him, he looked at me, and we both went, eh. It was perfect. Yeah. Hello. That was great.
Yeah. See, there is that.
Maybe you want to get another one.
The numbing gel or numbing whatever that they put on gums before. And I mean, you still feel the needle a little bit, but not like the old days. Well, I bit my dentist when I was young. He promised he wouldn't give me Novocaine until I was 8. It would have been 8 and I was 6 or 7. Whatever, and all of a sudden this needle's going in my mouth, and I just clamped down.
Oh, no.
Yep.
That must happen so much, though, right?
I don't know.
To be a dentist around kids?
They would give us these little plastic Paris seams kind of things that you could take home and paint. I mean, it was kind of cute. I didn't get one that day. Plus, he told my mom on me.
No.
He lied to me. Told me I wouldn't get Novocaine until I was 8, and I was not 8.
So he did have it coming.
Consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I'm sure he's still thinking, if only.
My bet is he's not practicing anymore. My bet is he might not even be vertical.
Oh. Well, that's too bad.
It's a long time ago. Mm-hmm. 20, 30 years. So, okay, yes.
He's probably more than practicing. He probably has it down pretty good by now. Did you hear about this tiger in Houston?
Just, checking out the neighborhood.
Yeah. Somebody's tiger escaped, and illegally, I should add, illegally kept as a pet tiger, escaped and was just wandering around. Yeah. That was yesterday, and then I saw a follow-up, and the headline said, "Officer holds tiger at bay." And I watched the video, and the headline couldn't be further from the truth. I saw a cop holding with very shaky hands a gun and basically saying, "Get away, get away." And the tiger was just like, didn't miss a beat. But then apparently he got away. The guy who owned the tiger came back while the police, I guess, had the tiger in a standoff of some sort. I don't know how that works, but yeah. So the guy comes back and he gets his tiger and then he leaves. He escapes. And it turns out there's a warrant for his arrest for murder. So if you're in the Houston area, there's an escaped murderer with a pet tiger. So
because what other kind of pet would he have?
Yeah. I didn't say Florida. This is Houston, Texas. Okay. In Florida it would be a
snake.
It would be on meth.
I'm like, we don't have that here. No.
Well, I don't think you really have that anywhere, to be honest. I mean, an escaped tiger isn't something that...
Does Carol let her tiggies out?
Oh, I don't think so, no.
Unless they're up eating her husband.
Her cats and kittens.
Oh, well.
Carol Baskin is making a mint on Cameo. The Cameo where you pay a quote-unquote celebrity to send you a personalized video saying whatever you want. It could be, happy birthday, Mary, good luck on whatever. And she charges like $2.50 or something, $300
$2.50.
Oh,
to
I
say
wish.
I killed my husband.
I wish.
If it's like if I pay you double, you'll say whatever I want.
Well, they did prank her.
Yes, I killed my husband.
She won't say that. She did get pranked, however, a few episodes back in the intro, or possibly the outro, to an episode where we talked about Carol Baskin. I stuck this in there. She got pranked by somebody. She gave shout-outs to this guy, Jimmy Savile, who was a longtime English TV presenter or talk show host or something. Turns out he got caught with kids, and he's dead now, but turns out he'd been molesting children for a long, long time. So Carol sent out a shout out to him, and that was pretty funny. But no, she's making.
That's grotesque. Well, she's grotesque in my view.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like, who's making a lot of money on Cameo? I don't think real celebrities are really messing around with it. Or if they are, they set the price so high that $1,000, so they don't really have to do it. And then some of these guys, some people are just so lazy. They literally just do it in their car. They'll just knock out 10 in a row.
While their driver is taking them someplace, or while they're actually driving?
While they're driving, even. Yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Couldn't be lazier.
At least they're not folding their laundry. That would probably be where I'd have to draw the line. Excuse
me,
I'd like my money back. I
Unless
didn't
you
need to see your
wanted
BVDs. We don't need to see your BVDs.
Speaking of BVDs, Josh Duggar. Yeah.
Isn't he getting a divorce or something?
Well, at this point, that's the silver lining in his life. He was arrested for several counts. Well, no, he's already. That's old news. He did that.
Yes, but,
he's already apologized for that, Mary. Thank you very much. No, this
apology does everything in that situation.
Of course. Well, no, they found a couple of thousand images of child pornography on his computer, and he was arrested. Yeah, and I read a little bit of the report. I read until I didn't want to read anymore, which is probably 5 minutes too long, to be honest. The stuff that he had, it wasn't just, not that there's a just for child pornography, but I'm saying apparently he really knew what he was doing. Like he was a collector or a connoisseur of this stuff. Yeah, it wasn't, not that there is a better or worse.
It wasn't just poses of the children, it was.
Right, I mean, it's, not that there's any good.
No.
But it's the level of, I think he was a collector. It wasn't
perversion.
He can't say, I just experimented or I accident. I didn't know I clicked that or whatever. Dude had a real serious collection. But here's the kicker. He got released on bail and returned to his family, his children, with I'm sure the judge, winked and said, don't get caught next time. Okay.
That's disgusting.
It's so.
He shouldn't be allowed around children.
Nope.
Period.
Nope. I mean, I guess we can look forward to him being out of commission eventually, because it sounds like this isn't going to go away. It's a huge problem. The FBI got involved, so he will go away. It's just, can you imagine a judge making that decision?
No.
I can't. Oh, I should mention Josh Duggar's white. I should mention that. So
there we go.
Yeah.
That's what we're sitting on.
Kind of area of the lead.
It's almost, you almost don't even have to say it, and that's what's sad. It just is a given when you hear that somebody who did that got out. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I confess to not knowing too much about him, just that they had a reality show called 19 and Counting, 19 Kids and Counting or something.
The parents just kept having children.
Right. There's a movement. Isn't there a movement? Yeah. What do they call that?
God wanted us to have all these kids. Okay. Well, the one thing about that is then they were always saying, the older kids are so great. They help with this, that. They never get to be children.
Yeah.
Because they're so busy helping raise the younger ones.
Right. I mean, 100 years ago, families did that, and it made sense. You had to, yeah. You don't have to now. So, yeah, there's something. And then, so then it was revealed that he had molested his younger sisters, I guess, when he was a teenager or even an adult. And until this happened, that was really the extent of my knowledge. I can't say.
Had family discussion, and the girls forgave him, or whatever and then you wonder if they did.
Oh, of course.
Because when they showed them on TV or in an interview, the girls just didn't want to talk about it. And I don't think that they really, it didn't seem like they wanted to be that forgiving, but they didn't have a choice. I almost think maybe mommy and daddy or church, something took their choice away from them.
It's a particular strain of, if you want to call it Christianity, where women are very subservient, right? It's not, there's no question about, it's Handmaid's Tale, basically.
Which
women
I'm
are
going
vessels.
to be binging in a few days.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Have you seen any of it? I haven't.
No.
Good.
We don't have the streaming service that it's on.
Mhm.
But I am going house and doggy sitting, and they do. And so I'm going to binge to the end of it, and then maybe in a little bit when they get close to the end of the season, I'll try the 1 week free, just binge to the end of it, and then say, I don't think I need this service.
How many seasons is it?
They've just started the 4th.
Oh, I did read the book many years ago by Margaret Atwood,
Oh.
30-some years ago, whenever it came out. And oddly enough, speaking of the series, Elizabeth Moss is the star,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And she's a Scientologist.
Oh, is she?
She certainly is. And to me, there's a certain disconnect there
Reality?
Well, yeah. It's hard to see how one could perform in a show like that and not see the parallels. But I guess
I wish I hadn't learned that about her. Speaking of Scientologists, Tom Cruise sent back his 3 Golden Globes. What's up with the Golden Globes? Why is the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, why are they under so much fire?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about this. He sent back his Golden Globes?
They're under fire for something.
Hmm.
All the networks are refusing to air a program this year.
Oh.
There's something, but I didn't see the story. I don't know the why.
I'm completely in the dark on Golden Globes.
Turn on a light!
I guess. I'd rather curse them, whatever. Well, the Golden Globes used to be, they were started as a complete farce. They were just a way to pay off people. If you remember Pia Zadora, she was...
Well, who wouldn't?
Of course. She was hyped as an actress. She was married
Isn't she the one who goes up against Glenn Close a lot for roles? And who's that other gal that I can't think of? Glenn Close and mediocre actress. That's a joke, by the way.
The Streepster?
Yes.
Ah. Yeah,
yes.
no, she's not
I
quite...
think that they go, oddly, the other 2 gals get the roles. I think it's probably by slim margin, but yeah.
Pia Zadora was married to like this billionaire dude, tycoon or something, who decided he wanted to make movies. And so he put her into the starring role of his movies, and it was called Butterfly.
Butterfly was Mariah Carey.
Well, this is going back to the 70s. This is going back to, I want to say, mid-70s. Anyway, it wasn't for that movie, but that was her first movie, was Butterfly. She was basically, a little sex kitten. That was nothing wrong with that, but they touted her, and he pushed her into this, he made this movie, and because the Golden Globes were basically a farce, he paid the foreign press, and they all voted her Best Actress that year, which was, if you could imagine...
Enough said.
Yeah. I don't know who she was up against, but she won. So that's what the Golden Globes used to be. And then probably less than 20 years ago, I think they decided, maybe 10 years ago, they decided that they weren't ever going to be taken seriously. So they changed the whole way they did things. And now they're much more in line with the Oscars, for better or worse. So, but I don't know of any controversy.
There's something going on. I just saw a couple of headlines. But again, I missed the meat of the story. I thought for sure you would be on top of that.
You would think so.
You're the movie dude. I'm not supposed to know all these things. I'm more the crap TV, reality TV show thing.
Well, we all have our places.
And news. Tawny Kitaen passed away. How and why?
How and why did she die?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I don't really pay attention to those things that much. Unless it was like if she died in a murder-suicide with the Pope or something, I would remember that for sure.
I would have thought after that video performance in the Whitesnake video, you would have been on top of her career the whole time. Snap, snap, snap.
Oh, how shallow do you think I am? I mean, seriously,
don't
how
ask
shallow
the
do you
question
think
if you don't want the answer.
How, like what? Like 2 feet, 7 feet?
You can drown
No.
in what? 2 inches of water, they say.
I'm not a Tawny Katane. So she's in one movie though. She's in one movie that's pretty cool. It's like this adventure comedy thing. What's it called? Like The Adventures of Gwendolyn. Remember this movie?
Oddly, I missed that. Hopefully it's a trilogy, and I can watch all 3. Speaking
If you're
of,
having a Tawny Katane night, and then definitely
truly,
slip that in there.
16 Candles has been on the last few nights. Tammy had said something about Anthony Michael Hall is putting out a book or something.
I do have an Anthony Michael Hall story for you, if you want. I don't, he doesn't come up enough in conversation that I get a chance to shoehorn this in, but it's a quick one. Anthony Michael Hall, of course, was Breakfast Club.
Where he
What
played
else?
the Geek.
Yep.
I mean, that's what it says. Anthony Michael Hall, the Geek.
The Geek. National Lampoon's Vacation. He was Rusty.
Edward Scissorhands.
Exactly. And then about that time, his career took a turn, and he wasn't getting a lot of roles. And I think it's public record that he was having a bit of a struggle with either alcohol or drugs, or maybe both. Anyway, here's what happened. I worked at a video store called Kim's Video. I've mentioned that before. Kim's Video was a really cool video store on Lower East Side, Manhattan. And it catered to unusual films. It wasn't like a Blockbuster. Okay, it was mostly foreign films, cult films, oddities, mainstream stuff too, but just not Sister Act. So one time,
More cultured.
Exactly, cultured or pretentious, depends on how you look at it. It could be both. Films were organized by director. You want to talk pretentious? So one time, Anthony Michael Hall comes in and appeared to be under the influence. Appeared to be under a lot of influence. And he came in sweating profusely and asked, "Where are my movies?" Now he's talking about Johnny Be Good, these movies that were like straight to video, the stuff that he, early 90s.
Like the Olsen twins did, everything straight to video.
Thank you. So it would be like the Olsen twins coming in saying, "Where's our movie?" It was like that. And
where are my movies? I imagine your movies are in your home.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, no, I wasn't. I did not witness this. I was not present for this story. But
so it's hearsay.
My friend was, and my friend was a manager also, and he said that he explained to Anthony Michael Hall that the type of video store we didn't really carry that type of. Before he even finished the sentence, Anthony, and this was, I don't know if you can picture it, the old video stores where there would be like a wire rack with all the video covers, the video boxes on the. So he gets really angry and he just swipes a row of video box. They're empty, of course, but he swipes an entire row of VHS onto the floor and then runs out yelling. Yeah. So another happy customer. I believe, if my timeline's correct, that would have been before he went into rehab. So
that would be an interesting life. And I'm not sure I'm using interesting in a real positive sense. Especially when you're that young and you become that famous and you know that everyone is just, okay, not everyone. So many people will do just about anything to be in your presence. And, oh, yes. And then you fade away and there aren't so many people. And you've based so much of who you are on what you've done and the response that people have to you. And then all that adulation is gone. The attention is gone.
Oh, it does a number. I think the worst thing you could do is put your kid into show business.
I will admit,
totally.
It was beautiful. Huge eyes with ridiculous eyelashes. No idea where they came from. And I wanted to have him do some ads, just enough for a nice college account. Get him out by the time he's 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's done, and just wander off. I was working at a very nice jewelry store for a while, and there was a beautiful baby competition. And my friend who was babysitting him, I didn't know anything about this thing at the time, had brought him out to, it was in a mall, brought him out, and these people were like, "You should get him in there, He's blah, blah, blah." It's like, well, I'm not the mom. Is she here? Can you get her permission? And this would have been, 18 years ago? And at that point, that price was $25,000. And I thought about it, but I didn't do it. He really was beautiful. Well, he still is. And that's not just looking through a mother's eyes of love.
Sure, he's objectively beautiful.
He just is.
I shouldn't have said that the worst thing you can do is put your kids into show business. I think
Andrew.
what I meant is you got to be really smart about it. But it used to be like the child stars of the 60s and the 70s, almost every week there would be a new story about one dying of an overdose or holding up a convenience store or something. Like Different Strokes kids. Everything was a tragedy, I don't know if it's still that way. But
sometimes the parents get so caught up in the fame and the money as well that they forget to be parents, or the child has taken enough away. They're on the set doing the work and they're doing their schooling on set and the hours or this. No, I don't know, but you hear about, let's say Justin Bieber, whose father hadn't been in the picture for a long time, and then all of a sudden he gets really famous and the dad wants to come back into the world because there's a lot of money.
Of course.
The story is they're flying around on the private planes and the dad's smoking pot with them and not being any kind of influence. And the mother, who had apparently been a very good influence, is all of a sudden now writing books about all these things. Well, there is no such thing as a perfect parent. I know some really, really good parents, fantastic parents. And when I ask this, I'm not asking in an accusatory sense, but why wasn't she on these planes? Was she not invited on these trips anymore? Where did the separation take place?
I don't know much about his situation, but there's the Britney Spears situation, which is also horribly tragic. Yeah. Basically, the poor girl, has mental issues, which pretty justified, if you ask me, knowing what we know about her upbringing. But her father basically has kidnapped her. He had her sign away her rights, so he's her
conservator.
Yeah,
Still.
And so who knows? And there's a lot of stories about predators. There's the Corey Feldman story, which of course, Corey probably did more to harm the movement just by, I don't know if you remember, he kept teasing that he was going to release names of people who were still working in the business.
Yes.
And then he decided he was going to, he had to do a GoFundMe first before he could release the names. And then once he got the GoFundMe money, he made a quote-unquote documentary, and then he was going to live stream the documentary. And in that documentary were the names of these people. And then to come the night of the stream, they had technical issues and the stream cut out. Meanwhile, Corey,
seriously?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Corey, walks away with $60,000, $70,000 or whatever from the people, who ponied up $10 a piece. And then it turns out, of course he got called on the carpet for it. And then it turns out the names that are in the movie are names that nobody even has heard of, like a casting agent and somebody else. And it's like, Corey,
I've watched a documentary.
Parents also did that.
Where he was talking about himself and Corey Haim. The two Coreys, the Coreys, and how the other Corey had just gone through a lot of abuse. Mm-hmm. And of course, Corey Haim has passed at this time when he's telling this whole thing. And that, I think, was a lot of the precursor to the whole, I'll give the names, I'll do all this. And this was an hour-long show that I did watch, but that was, 3-4 years ago. 4 or 5, who knows anymore.
He didn't mention Charlie Sheen in that one then, right? Because that's the only name that he mentioned that might have shocked people. But the thing is, that's already, if you follow gossip at all, that story's been out there for a long time. That basically Charlie Sheen, this was the story that Corey Feldman claims, and other people also claim, that on the set of, I think the movie was called Lucas, right?
Okay.
Football movie, high school football or something. On the set of Lucas, Charlie Sheen raped Corey Haim. That's the story. Of course, Sheen denies. Oh, okay. Sheen denies it. Obviously, Corey settled around to. Yeah, so that was the one tidbit that Corey put out there. And we're like,
see, now that seems weird. Charlie likes women, and the
Charlie
whole thing.
Likes excess. I think that's the thing with Charlie. Not that I know him, but.
But the whole thing when he was going to hookers and stuff, and you get what you want, and you don't have to worry about a relationship. You don't worry about somebody calling you and wanting something more from you. You pay, you play, you go home.
I think he also.
Or you play, whichever direction it goes. I don't know. I don't know the order, people. I don't know the order.
They say you pay to make them leave. But I think he admits that he's bisexual, so it wouldn't be, obviously that's not the same as rape. There's a difference
between bisexual.
Of course.
And pedophilia.
Of course. And he would have, I guess the timeline would have been, Charlie would have been 19 and Haim would have been 14 or something like that.
Yeah, that's pedophilia.
Oh, certainly it is. I'm not excusing anything. I'm just saying for whatever. But yeah, I mean, Corey Feldman, I love watching the train wreck that he is these days, you know, with his band. Have you seen the Angels? Oh my! Oh, he did a performance. He writes and produces his own music, and it's all this horrible Michael Jackson inspired. He does Michael Jackson inspired dancing to. I what am I saying? Inspired. It's Michael Jackson. It's ripped off. It's exactly Michael Jackson.
Except not as good.
Of course.
There's no 2.0 to this.
No. Yeah, so he has this band that are Corey's Angels. Corey's Angels is the thing, and I think
those were all the girls that he had in his house. He had his girlfriend, his wife.
Yes.
But then he had all these. It was
the Angels. Yes, that's his band. Also, they're his band.
Like the D version of Hugh Hefner. You know, this isn't. These aren't bunnies, or this isn't the whole Hugh Hefner vibe, but that's what he wanted. But he and his wife and his brother were on a reality show, and I can't even think of the name. I watched 2 episodes throughout the whole season just because it's honestly these train wrecks. And this one was Family. God, what is it called? They'll do it with Hip Hop Edition and Reality Edition. Marriage Boot Camp.
Oh, okay.
Marriage Boot Camp, Family Edition, Marriage Boot Camp, Hip Hop, or Marriage Boot Camp, all these different ideas. And yes, he and his brother don't get along, and his brother had been a child actor a little bit, and Corey's convinced that his brother, who was less successful, is jealous of him, but the brother saying that, of course, all the attention would given to Corey. No, I'm not jealous. And the wife is like, I don't know what's going on. And yeah, he had this whole, I don't want to say crazy, just not even sure how to describe his vibe.
Eccentric. He would be eccentric because he has money.
Yes. We'll go with that.
I love Corey Feldman. I mean, I really,
after The Lost Boys, I can't dislike him.
I find him so entertaining. Just so entertaining. He and his Angels performed, this was a couple of years ago, they performed at a minor league baseball game, like at halftime, and
get to the hot dog line fast enough.
The performance was so bad, so awful, and there were so many complaints that the team actually apologized.
Mm-hmm.
They published a written apology. We didn't know what Corey Feldman was going to do. And it wasn't because he was obscene or anything. He did his act. He did what he was supposed to do. It's just so awful.
He did him. Wow. Way to go, Core.
Corey. Oh.
But again, Lost Boys.
Oh, License to Drive. I mean, I love
Lost Boys. The
Gremlins.
music in Lost Boys. Mm-hmm. Tina Turner, sax player. You know the song. Every woman knows the song, and everybody who would be. And this was, remember, back in the days of spandex, though. This huge man, and he's singing and playing, and the saxophone just looks tiny. Yeah, look it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be in the show links.
Yes, it's in the where Jason Patric first sees Star. The characters first see each other.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe the songs. I still believe. So everybody, if I don't talk for a little bit, I'm just watching the video in my mind.
No, that is a good movie. But there's a movie that came out the same year that was also about a traveling vampire family called Near Dark. Do you remember that one?
Nope.
That's a good one. Bill Paxton, Lance Henriksen. I was thinking Jason Patric, but it's not Jason Patric. It's somebody who looks like him, who's the boy who falls for a girl who's one of the vampire family. Jenny Wright plays the girl. It's directed by Catherine Bigelow, who later won the Oscar.
Yes.
First woman to win the Oscar.
It's a very campy TV show, and I want to say it's called What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, love it. Love it. It was a movie first. Did you see the movie?
No. I happened chanced upon it one evening.
Oh.
And it's hilarious.
Love it. It's the
so
guy.
Campy.
It's the guy who did Jojo Rabbit, Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then Thor. Who plays Thor? Who plays that role?
I can't remember. Some kind of plain-looking dude,
Aussie.
some plain-looking guy.
Blondish or something.
He's kind of a cipher. Kind of just I can't even picture his. I don't know if he has like good-looking
Chris.
features or like plain. Somebody's pretty plain, I would say. If I had to describe him in a word, just like plain.
Chris.
Non-attractive might be 2 words.
Chris. Why do I want to say Chris?
Ah.
Hemsworth. There it
Oh.
is. Chris Hemsworth.
Oh,
We haven't brought up a Hemsworth in a while.
I know. Did you watch the Kentucky Derby?
I did not. I don't really like horse racing.
I don't either. But did you know the story that the horse that won?
And I feel so sorry for the horse. It's not the horse's fault. No, the horse is being penalized.
The horse was on steroids apparently, or allegedly.
Failed an after the race test.
Right. But they're going to appeal, I guess.
Yes.
But,
That trainer's going to be zapped forever. 17.
Medina Spirit is the name of the
Yes.
horse. And Donald Trump, former president.
Ugh.
Oh, excuse me. I just had this taste on my mouth. Like a
Tea
little
rum.
Vial or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the giant orange shitgibbon, as the Scottish like to say, of course, had to chime in on the fact that the horse is a junkie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, a junkie.
He referred to it the horse.
The horse is a junkie, yeah. This is the problem with the country. This is emblematic, which somebody else probably wrote for him. What's wrong with this country that even the horses are junkies? Yeah, and it gets even better than that, but
Someone had to have said the word to him multiple times.
yeah.
Because we all know what's one of the most famous mispronunciations.
That can't be it.
Where the mispronunciation was so bad. It was in one of his speeches, and it became one of his gaffes of the week.
Well, I was under the impression that if you were a junkie, you got a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
That Yosemite.
Oh, Yosemite. I imagine that Trump doesn't write anything.
Yosemite at a White House event before signing a land conservation bill.
He doesn't actually write anything. He just dictates, right? So he'll probably say rah 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 rah. He'll say, and then put some word in there that means that.
Well, the thing is,
I love the Looney Tunes character, Anti-Semite Sam.
Tiny Kitten dies, bachelor party, 59 whites. She died at her home. Cause of death, not immediately. Her children, Winter and Rain, she shared with her ex-husband, Major Baseball. She was 59.
Wait, her kids were named Winter and Rain? She obviously died of embarrassment when she realized what her kids' names were.
No. Starred alongside Tom Hanks in the 1984 comedy Bachelor Party.
Bachelor Party, yeah.
1991 episode of Seinfeld, Seinfeld's girlfriend. 80s movies like Witchboard and Crystal Heart.
Did I mention Perils of Gwendolyn?
Album covers for the band Rat.
Oh, yeah.
She started music like Here I Go Again and Still the Night by the 80s rock band Whitesnake, but wasn't she dating? She had some work done.
Ooh, she had a lot of work done. Poor
Yeah.
thing. Poor thing, yeah. She was so beautiful, too.
That's one of those, Mickey Rourke.
Uh-huh.
From Handsome to, yeah, you wonder, and you figure they're going to plastic surgeons in LA, and shouldn't they? Wow.
What, shouldn't the plastic surgeons say no at some point?
Better. Or not, necessarily.
No. I think it's symbiotic relationships. I mean, I imagine the people who do elective surgery probably have a different set of standards, maybe? I mean, the Hippocratic Oath is first do no harm, right? So, in theory, a person comes in and says, I want my nose bigger, or I want my nose smaller, or I want my cheeks. Shouldn't you just say no?
Not necessarily
But,
harmful. I've watched Botched.
yeah.
And that guy who wanted all those implants and actually designed a bunch of them himself. And I've watched them say no to people.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess it's like a bartender. I mean, eventually somebody, most bartenders won't say no, but probably find one that
It does.
It
I want
does.
some coffee or soda for a while. Maybe a glass of water. I used to.
That's.
Didn't always make me the most popular bartender.
So are you, if you're not following the QAnon people as closely as I am, you might not be aware that, Joe Biden, right? So-called President Joe Biden.
Ugh. The president, the duly elected president of the United States of America
Well,
as a result of a free and fair election? Is that who you're talking about?
well, this is what I don't want to call this a theory, because a theory, somebody pulled out of their ass this idea and people are running with it. So a number of QAnon believers believe this to be fact. I'll put it that way. And it goes as follows. Joe Biden isn't actually Joe Biden. All right? Right. Joe Biden was taken out of commission. He's actually, you ever see the Mission Impossible movies with Tom Cruise? You know, and in the beginning, the opening scene.
I haven't made it to the theater for those.
See, there you go. Well, you know, and then he suddenly he'll pull off his mask, and it's really Tom Cruise underneath there. But you know, it was like this hyper realistic, fooled everybody. This mask. Well, Joe Biden is actually, get this, the actor James Woods, or former actor James Woods. Yeah, with one of those masks. Okay, so he's playing
James
Biden.
Woods a Trump supporter?
Oh, certainly he is. But if you
So the whole thing behind this is
no, he's masquerading as Joe Biden.
yes.
But you gotta trust the plan. Okay, trust the plan. Everything, the grown-ups are in charge.
Wait, let
So
me check.
it's-
No,
They got
no.
okay. Not only that, but for some reason Hunter Biden plays into all this.
Oh,
So
and what is that?
Hunter Biden isn't actually Hunter Biden either. He's been taken out. Yeah. He is, you guessed it. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Paul Walker,
No,
former
that's
star of the Fast and the Furious series,
Who
presumed
died
dead.
in a
No.
car.
Faked death. The Illuminati faked the death, or whoever. So he's in a Hunter Biden suit.
criminally, people.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And in about, I think it's about 2 weeks, because it's always about 2 weeks. They're going to reveal this all to the world. So basically, they're going to pull off the masks like Tom Cruise did at the beginning of Mission Impossible, and it's really going to be James Woods and Paul Walker. And you know, I gotta say, when that happens, people's minds are going to be blown.
See, now here's the thing about that. He had a girlfriend at the time.
There's one thing
He
about
had a
that.
child. How cruel. I mean, how sick do you have to be? Really?
Well, reality doesn't exist to these people, so it isn't. In the first place, it isn't like they're ever going to meet Paul Walker's daughter, or at least they figure that. It doesn't even really exist to them, except as something to further their agenda. So, yeah. So James Woods was kicked off of Twitter, so he's been completely silent. And he was I used to follow him on Twitter, and he was a doozy, just full blown Trump Q-tard. Yeah, and it's a pity because he's a great actor, just a great actor. I love Videodrome. He's in so many good movies.
When people become that bizarre, I just don't want anything to do with them. Oh, so I got a text from a Facebook friend back through just a little notification. Hey, how you doing? It was somebody we used to kind of comment back and forth on each other's stuff. I don't get on much, so I don't know if he's been very active either. He's like, I don't know if anyone has mentioned this to you, but did you notice that the drawing of me looks a lot like the gal from Bewitched?
It's true.
You got it, yeah.
That was my inspiration. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
like, that's all right.
Well, originally, okay. Here was the deal. When we first started talking about doing this podcast, I had all these pictures in my head of what it was going to look like, and the first thing I thought of was every romantic comedy from the 90s and the 2000s that stars Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson, and Sarah Jessica Parker et al. The poster for every one of those is the guy and the girl with their backs to each other, with their arms crossed, looking back over their shoulder like, oh, you. And
Tis true.
right. And so what I wanted to do was go to around Times Square and other tourist areas. I guess Central Park is also. They have these caricature artists out, people who just,
Yes.
and there's a spectrum of them. Some of them are quite good. Some of them are not quite good. So what I was going to do was get one of these guys, pay them whatever it was, to do a sketch of the two of us like that as a parody, right? So, and then I get to Times Square and I realize, oh, we're in the middle of a pandemic. There's nobody on the streets. There's no caricature artists. So I just did it myself.
You did a
Yes.
fine job.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Fine.
Yes, there are definitely similarities to Bewitched, to the animated opening of Bewitched.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
I'm sitting over here trying to wiggle my nose, right?
I was about to say I have not seen you wiggle your nose, so I can't attest.
I'm much better at the slap genie thing.
Right. Crossed arms, and didn't she shake her head too? Like shake her head and her ponytail would shake back
She
and forth?
nodded. She nodded and blinked.
She nodded and blinked. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I feel terrible. The young boy who had brain cancer. And he had got to know the players. That was kind of his dream, was meeting the Huskers. And Rex Burkhead really bonded with this young man and has been integral in the foundation for fundraising and such against childhood brain cancer and stuff. And unfortunately, then the father, in the last couple of years, brain tumor, and passed away. And now why can't I think? My goodness. But at the spring game, they set this whole... Now, you have to understand, in Nebraska, the stadium holds over 90,000 people. The spring game, which is a glorified practice, sells out in a day for a variety of reasons. It's about the only thing that a lot of people can afford. But that's how big football is here. So they set up this whole play, and he got the ball, and he ran 65 or more yards for a touchdown. He won an ESPY. But you couldn't watch it without crying. And now I feel so terrible. Do you have your phone there, another thing where you can look up? Please, I would like that definitely linked. It is honestly one of the most... Rex Burkhead Foundation. It's not Rex Burkhead Foundation. You could look up Nebraska Spring Game ESPY Award. You could look it up. And I apologize to everyone, because any other day I would be able to just say it out loud.
Well, it'll be linked in the.
Yes, you've got to watch the video, everybody. If you have dry eye at the end of this, I don't know what's wrong.
Is this Team Jack?
There it is.
Yeah, Jack Hoffman. Yeah, there will be a link to this. 6-year-old brain tumor survivor.
It is one of the sweetest things, and everybody is cheering for him. And he's lifted up at the end. He's doing quite well.
Yeah, and, people are good.
Mm-hmm.
I think
given the opportunity.
Even mobs of people can be good.
Yes.
But yeah, they're not always good, but I love it. I love when. Yeah.
We got to try a little more kindness. Challenge yourself. Smile at something. Now, in New York, I get that that's not always a thing. But when I was out in the driveway today pulling weeds, and we have a lot of folks who walk around the neighborhood, and we see them, but there's always, hello, how are you today? Blah, blah. Oh, it's not, the nice weather, the normal things. Oh, that looks like fun. Or, golly, if y'all have a little bit of extra time and you don't have anything to do your house, come on back. I've got plenty of projects. And we all laugh, and then they say, oh, yeah, we're doing this is what we're doing at our house. So you never know if that smile that you give to somebody will make a big difference in their day.
It's true. It really is true. I had a really nice conversation at the bank today. Never expected to, but it's, usually people who go into banks are not in a position to want to chat, It's like, what I mean? It's not like you're there, what a pleasant day to go to the bank. You're there because you need to be there, right?
We always chat with the folks at our bank.
Okay, well, things are a little different here, but I shouldn't say that. People are nice, but you want to get in and you want to get out. You don't want to spend the day. But my card was blocked because I made a purchase online. Yeah, I made an online purchase last night for $250, which is nothing. I mean, well, it's not nothing, but I mean, is there a red flag when you buy, and they apparently sent me a text saying, we just want to check in with you. The bank did this. Did you mean to do this purchase? And they had the wrong number, so I didn't get the text. So instead they just blocked my card. So like, oh, thank you. Thank you for, so I had to go to the bank and get a new card. Anyway, but I had a nice conversation with the woman. She was very pleasant, and we talked about nice, fun things. But you're right. It's what you bring to, it could have gone either way. I could have been I could have been uptight. I could have been, let's just get in here and out of here as fast as possible. But I was like, doesn't hurt to be nice.
Oops. Hold on.
Certainly.
Hello. Oh, good. It's Tammy, everybody.
Tammy! Huh? You just had to get on the podcast somehow, didn't you?
He goes, you just had to get on the podcast somehow.
Oh, that's what you guys are doing?
Hold on. Is there any way to get her in here?
But she's on. I mean,
Oh, you're on.
We're still recording.
How do we get her voice? Can you hear her?
I can hear her, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, when I hear Lee talk, all I hear is...
Me too!
Wait a second. Annie, right?
Monkey language.
Doesn't have to be right.